Hello fellow hunters, this is Jared Lantern, and I'm here with another prop review video. Today I will be reviewing the vintage Looks Scary Girl from Morbid Enterprises. And as I've said in a previous haul video, yes, that is a horrible name for a prop. I could think of about a dozen better names, but that's what they decided to call it, the Vintage Look Scary Girl. Now, other than being a horrible name, it actually is pretty accurate of a descriptor for the prop itself, because it is a vintage looking scary girl. So, but maybe it is a perfect name, I don't know. But anyway, from what I can tell from this is it is supposed to be a young girl with a vintage Halloween mask. Now, if you've ever Googled vintage Halloween masks or old creepy Halloween masks, you see things that are very similar to this. They were very plain and not too much detail to them, but for whatever reason those masks were super, like, just disturbing and creepy, and that's exactly what they utilized with this particular prop. I had seen videos of this prop early on in this year, either at Transworld or some other conventions, and I really liked it. At that time I did know that my theme was going to be black and white, and as you could tell, it pretty much is black and white. Now when I do activate it, you'll see that the pumpkin lights up a very faint orange, but I do like the way it looks black and white as it is, and that's just a matter of unhooking the light cable, which does come from her right hand there, and then her face lights up from the inside. So one thing about this particular prop is that the mask does come off. Now this prop is not in any way animated, so I can't really call it an animatronic. It really is just a static prop. Now the mask does come off to reveal a completely different face, and it is a very disturbing face, even more disturbing than the mask that she's wearing. But it is such a realistic looking prop, and even more so in person than maybe it's picking up on camera, but it does look like it's a young girl in a vintage Halloween costume, or not even costume, it may be just a mask, and she's just wearing like a regular white dress. The hair is very realistic, probably one of the more realistic type of material for hair that I've seen on a prop recently. And yeah, I think it's a really different prop, especially, like I said, because of the fact that nothing's really animated. To change the prop, you manually have to remove her mask, and I'll show you the mask being removed in a little bit. But just let's go ahead and take a look at more of the details of the prop itself. So she is like a single pole prop. So if I lift up the clothing here, you can see she sits on just one single pole, not like two, like a typical prop. And so let's come up here, and she has her two hands are clasped together, and she's holding a jack-o'-lantern. To give you an idea of how big the jack-o'-lantern is, it's not like as big as like a normal sized average jack-o'-lantern. It's about like a very small pumpkin size, but in ratio to the rest of her body, it does make sense. A young girl would not be carrying around a huge pumpkin. And so her clothing is completely white, and she has these ruffles at the top of her neck area, and there is her creepy vintage style mask, and it really does look scary, like genuinely scary. And I was very lucky that this prop came out this year, because of the fact that it is a black and white theme year for me. Let me just get full sides around. Very cool looking mask. I mean, if somebody wore that mask for Halloween, that in itself would just be very creepy to me. Like I said, the jack-o'-lantern does light up a very faint orange. It's not nearly as bright as you may have seen in pictures or videos. But let's go ahead and take a look at her face a little bit more. And in fact, let's go ahead and remove the mask. Like I said, you have to manually do it. So let's go ahead and take off her mask. So that reveals the monster face that she has. Now, this is such a bizarre prop to me because it really makes no sense, and you kind of have to make up your own storyline for it, basically. So you have this mask here. She's wearing it. She's just an innocent little girl who's wearing a Halloween mask. But this is what's going on underneath. So you have to kind of come up with your own backstory. So I guess obviously one of the biggest drawbacks is the fact that the mask does not come off automatically. That you do have to manually remove it. Now obviously if it was a perfect animatronic, the mask would be sitting here, and then the mask would just kind of raise on its own. But it doesn't do that. Would it be easy to do that? Obviously, but it just was not made that way. And but the price does show that it's very inexpensive is what I'm trying to say. So essentially it is a static prop, which I love static props. I'm beginning to like static props more than animatronics, honestly. Another kind of funky thing about this particular prop is that there is no sensor. It just comes with an on-off switch on the module, and then there's a try me button. So it's activated by a try me button only, which is very strange to me. But let's go ahead and, you know what, I take back what I just said. This prop is animated, so it is technically an animatronic. Her head moves side to side. I forgot about that animation. So yes, it officially is an animatronic. I take that back. But anyway, let's go ahead and turn her on and plug her in, and then see, yes, the animation, and then the lights. I'll do one round with the mask on, and then one with mask off. And there is only one phrase, and I cannot remember exactly what she says, but once I hear it, I'll probably have to repeat it to you because you cannot hear it very well. But let's go ahead and turn it on. So there is her animation and what she says. And I honestly have no idea what she says. The most that I can get from it is she says, "Halloween is my favorite thing, plenty of tricks and treats." And then I cannot hear the rest of it, and then she laughs. So you guys probably can hear it even worse than I can, because I really cannot make out what she says at all. It doesn't help the fact that the speaker is facing the back, which I still don't know why. And this is not just Morbid. This is Techie Toys. This is Seasonal Visions. This is a lot of prop makers. They always face the speaker towards the back, which makes no sense to me. But I think even if this audio was facing the front, I think I would still have a hard time hearing it. In fact, I'm going to see if there is a volume control. So we're looking at this real time. Volume control for her. Let me get back with you. All right, so yes, if you can see there definitely is a volume control. I did turn it up all the way, but that really didn't help because it was just as incoherent as when I first heard it. So yeah, cannot make out exactly what she's saying, but as a prop itself, I really do like it. I actually, as creepy as the face is with the mask off, and it really is disturbing to look at, I think I actually prefer it with the mask on. And I know I had said it was a static prop earlier, but it definitely is animated with the head going back and forth. So as the prop, as I see it, I think it's a great prop. I don't think it's essential to everybody's haunts, but I definitely would say that I do recommend it. So with the obvious flaws of the mask not coming off automatically and you kind of have to manually remove it. The audio being completely unintelligible. You know, those are basically the biggest complaints that I have. The lights in the mouth once the mask is off is also kind of strange. I think the lights should be kind of not in the mouth, but kind of like outside the mouth. So yeah, not a perfect prop by any means, but just even as it is with the mask on, I think it's super creepy. And I will most likely have the volume turned down and just with the animation when I have it come display time for my haunt, simply because I just think that my guests would be completely confused by what she's saying. But I don't think I even said I did get this from Trendy Halloween. They had it, I believe, they currently have it for $85, and then I had a 15% off coupon. So it ended up, after shipping, I ended up getting it for around $80. So, but I think it's definitely worth $80, even if I did use it as a static prop. Like I said before, it does work well as a static prop. But the animation is nice. The lighting is nice. I know you could barely see, but the jack-o'-lantern, like I said, did light up very faintly in orange. But yeah, I will most likely be using this without the audio. So I'm happy that there is a volume control, because I do not like the audio at all. So there it is, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep it creepy.